we used a tool that is called the COPSOC3, and it looks at the psychosocial risk factors in the workplace, what is a protector and what is helping or protecting mental health at work and what is not. So the things that we need to decrease: high work demands, working overtime. And I'll show you now another slide because I think it's interesting to see that actually the workplace aspects are as important as the exposure. When you look at this is the result of odds ratio of those that rated high, so high work-life conflict. They were 2.7 more at risk of secondary traumatic stress, or 1.9 more at risk of PTSD. And I think this is an important point to take home. That the way, it's not only the exposure, is does the organization have your back? And do you have a condition in the workplace that you can recover from what you're doing? So you can see there, of course, high insecurity, low possibilities. You can also bullying, sexual harassment, and how that is related to anxiety, burnout, depression. The other reason why we really have to look at the workplace factors is because we can manage them. We cannot control what is happening in the conflict or in the war around us, or the stories that the clients that we support bring. This is part of the exposure that is very difficult to mitigate, but you can, as an organization, as a manager, as a team, you can improve the workplace conditions. So there's an element of control.
And I think what is an important discussion point for us as a collective is how we move towards becoming vicarious trauma-informed organizations, because we all are trauma-informed organizations, but acknowledging that vicarious trauma is a part of our working experience, and the experience of others' trauma is an occupational challenge for our field, and that working with victims of violence has shown to change our worldview, and it puts us as individuals and also our organizations at risk for a range of negative consequences. So a vicarious trauma-informed organization recognizes these challenges and assumes the responsibility for proactively addressing the impact of vicarious trauma through policies, procedures, practices, and programs. So it's a responsibility of an organization to allow and create space for staff to feel safe, feel heard, feel empowered in the work that they do. Because when organizations don't address vicarious trauma, we have low productivity, which I talked about, low level of cohesion, communication, poor organizational health, and we have high staff turnover. And key aspects of a healthy vicarious trauma-informed organization, and this is also based on a body of research, is leadership and mission, effective leadership, clarity and alignment with mission. Also communication style, horizontal or vertical within the organization. Management and supervision, clear, respectful, quality, and inclusive of vicarious trauma. And we're going to have much more on supervision afterwards. Employee empowerment and work environment to promote peer support, team effectiveness, ongoing professional development, so that people permanently feel that they're being cared for and their professional development is a part of their everyday work. And staff health and wellness is also a key aspect to a healthy organization. Failure to maintain boundaries, over-identification with clients, lack of professional distance, lack of therapeutic strategic concept, diffusion of roles and competencies, endless changing, like hectic, uncoordinated interventions. These cause stress and conflict level. Whereas on the other hand, research shows that good leadership, delegation, clear definition of roles, so on and so forth, maintenance of boundaries, care for caregivers program, coaching for leaders, which is essential because leaders also need to be assisted and accompanied in their leadership roles. This supports organizations with low stress and conflict level. We are very often very intimately relating to the dark side of humanity, and sometimes we need reminded that we are the warriors of the for justice, and we need support. We cannot do this alone. There's an African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So that's why we need each other. We need professional support in order to go far and together, because our struggle is far from over.